All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. Studio 5191 presents Stirring the Pot. I am your co-host for tonight, DJ SlyFox, and your host, the host with the most extravagant mustache. Oh no, that's Dominic Mysterio. But his father has one of the greatest mustaches you'll ever see. I'm talking about DJ RB3.
Yeah,
Yeah. How we doing tonight?
we are doing wonderful.
All right, we got Jesse Michael in the building. We got Brittany Letty and Tyler, the creator, in the building. And we got Dr. Renee in the building. How's everybody doing tonight?
I'm sweating, man.
It's because you're in Florida?
No, because that foul happened before the buzzer.
Oh, you watching the game?
We needed Durant to have an assist or a rebound. If it went to overtime, that would have happened. But
I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, you know how these things work. Where's my
no contact, no contact, no contact, no contact. No.
You gotta
Okay.
it's only
Come
contact
on.
when it's contact, okay?
As we get started, just found out we lost Candyman, Mr. Tony Todd,
Candyman.
the most scariest person I've ever met. You got grown people who still won't say it in the mirror with the lights on.
Yeah.
But also, we've lost Mr. Quincy Jones, whose music career spanned forever.
I think he wrote the first hymn.
Hey, listen, Quincy Jones been around forever. Like he done mentored these Jackson boys who didn't start dying, all these other people. This man is pretty much wrapped up in the history of music as we know it today. Like he's one of those people you've probably heard so much of his music or samples of his music and maybe don't even know it. We get our little R he's out. If y'all would have been there for karaoke, we would have y'all would have seen we had a lot of tributes by our wonderful singers.
I believe every single person did at least one song that was produced by Quincy Jones this Wednesday. So shout out to y'all. I mean, put that together. DJ RB3000 made that a real situation. The 90, what was it, 70, 74, 80.
74 through 84.
And without, knowing that that's the situation. So good job for that. But, RIP to Quincy Jones. Also, RIP to Prince's sister. We had somebody post that on there, Tyler Nelson. So, more RIPs out there.
RIPs. Sure do, sure do. Well, I can't swim, so I'm not going to dip my toe in it. I'm getting right to business. Man seeked vengeance for his brother's death by meeting, dating his brother's killer's baby mama, and eventually murdering her while she was on live with her baby daddy in jail.
Yeah, that's crazy. KO did post this one. And I hate when somebody that posts something that's not in here to talk about
No,
it.
I posted this one.
Oh, you did this one?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So with that being said, what the hell, man? Like, is that how far we're going to get revenge these days? Like,
That sounds like a supervillain backstory.
so run that back again. It was this dude's brother or
Her,
this
her,
dude's
ba-
sister.
her baby daddy killed his brother. And he went to the length of finding out who he had a child with meeting the lady, starting a relationship, which it was said he was treating her bad throughout the whole relationship. But when he got his opportunity, when dude had a smuggled cell phone and there was on live, he ended up stabbing her to death. But also, it mentioned he slapped his baby in front of him on camera too.
Karma is a thing that we as human beings don't have to do. That's revenge, and revenge is the best dish served cold, and that's a cold motherfucker for that shit, man. That's all I got on that.
That's like the most premeditated shit I ever heard.
I'm still sending
I,
her shout outs right now, so she gets some.
I know it, but I read that shit. I was like, man, let me see what somebody said on there. Now moving on. KO shared this one about real man sharing his women, etc. Long story short, they was talking and old girl was saying that her and her boyfriend are in more of a poly relationship, and he doesn't mind her seeing other guys or whatnot. And the guy who was running the show pretty much said that if she was worth anything, that wouldn't be okay. And she was real offended when she threw a drink in his face. And I don't know. At the end of the day, it's teachers out. If somebody don't agree with your lifestyle, they don't have to. But it seemed like he must have struck a nerve where she felt like she had to physically do him something. So at the end, even though he was being a jackass, it seemed like he won because it was like, okay, you feel the need to physically assault me.
My
Is the
question is,
video still on the page for anybody that want to see it?
yeah,
It's
my question is, what's y'all thoughts on the situation itself? Uh, I guess we start with the first thing, the man saying that the one let's go to the beginning. The woman talking about her and her man, they in a poly relationship. Um, meat and potatoes, yay, nay, good, bad. Like, how do we feel about that? Let's start there. It's an open floor. Unmute, talk.
All right. Well, I don't have a problem with anybody's lifestyle. And I do understand on his show he's gonna say what he's gonna say. So, like at the end of the day, I think he had criticism based on what he viewed, I guess, his ideal poly situation. Um, and she took offense to that. So, at the end of the day, like I don't necessarily think that you should let insults get to you like that to the point where you're about to get physical. But I understand. Like I haven't had my buttons pressed like that. But to RB's point, like yo, he must have said something that obviously triggered her. And again, it's not right, but she obviously took offense and threw the drink in his face because ultimately, I think he was being insulting. But like, you should be able to still have a discourse, and you should, especially on these type of podcast shows, understand they're gonna try to bait you, and you gotta obviously be a little bit more savvy than that. So, uh, to answer your question, like first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with poly. Secondly, his view on poly is a little skewed because essentially he's looking at it from I think his perspective. Like, well, if I was poly, I couldn't have my woman share, and that's fine. Like RB said, to each their own. Uh, I don't necessarily think that the criticism was warranted, but again, he was just stating his opinion, which I don't agree with, because ultimately, at the end of the day, you know, um, I don't necessarily believe in possession in that way. And if you are poly and that's your deal, there's no judgment on my side, because ultimately, you know, um, it's just another relationship dynamic. That's not, I guess, heteronormative. So I'll leave it at that.
It, okay. Do you think that maybe she's not happy with that, and maybe that's what triggered her, or you know how sometimes we'll tell ourselves some bullshit so much, and then when somebody call us out, it kind
Mm.
of break it apart.
Nah, I don't know if I got that vibe because if I remember the video correctly, it was just he was basically suggesting that her dynamic was just flawed, and so I think she took exception to that, and like I think that ultimately she felt some kind of way about him, more or less disrespecting the relationship dynamic that she had. Um, and again, to each their own, because I think I still took issue with some of the things she said, because the whole a real I don't know if this is the same video, but like I feel like she was like a real man is gonna do XYZ, and I'm just like, all right,
When, like I say, when anybody put real in front of something, the bullshit coming right after.
yeah.
You know
But,
it.
but the bottom line is like, you should be able to have a discussion and disagreement like respectively, and sometimes things get heated, but at the end of the day, like you can just chalk it up. It's like, all right, well, this ain't for you, and I don't necessarily think that. Yeah, I'm not gonna take anybody's criticism personally because you don't know me like that, and if you ain't in my relationship, it don't matter.
I agree with you. And also, if it's some information I ain't putting out there, I'm not gonna be offended when I put out there for you.
Hmm.
Y'all know I always be running around like I ain't got no problem jacking off. Then if somebody be like, "Well, Rob, you gonna go blind and your hand gonna cramp?" Well, fuck you. Then talking about my action. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I don't put nothing out there I'm being offended about. Now, if you dig, and you come and be about something I ain't tell you, then I might have a problem with you. But
Hmm.
anything I put out there, I'm not offended or offensive about.
Hmm.
All right.
But
Anybody else want to chime in on this? The entire video is up for grabs. Well, actually, look here. Let me do this thing. It's not that. Is it open on your end? Like your man allowed you to sleep with other women? Yeah. What about other men? And yeah, we have open relationships, and he can deal with whoever he wants to deal with. Bisexual or he's straight? No, he's not bisexual. Baby, I like a real man. You're saying you like a real man. I would say that a real man wouldn't allow his woman, not even allow, wouldn't get into a serious relationship with the woman that is open on her end and other men are smashing her. That girl's gonna be for the streets. We in 2024, baby. Just the fact that you said still speaking while I'm speaking. I am. Got it. Slow it down. No. Because you want to disrespect women. Who did I disrespect today? All right, that part right there. That's when I'm like, okay, now everything is fighting words. If that put anybody in a new perspective or anything, that's what we're talking about right now. My thing is, one, I hate when somebody's talking on their platform, anybody else's platform or whatever, and they take 3 extra seconds till they continue talking. I feel like you're done now. I'm about to talk. So I was kind of when he was like, no, I'm still talking, but I was like, but you're not. But still, when you're in that situation, it's his show. You're on there. He said, hold on, I'm still talking. You go, okay, cool. Go ahead and finish. Let him finish. In my opinion, but when he cut her off to say that, then she felt disrespected. And to me, I think disrespect is a weaponized word now. Like, oh my God, if somebody feel disrespected, you automatically have to backtrack and say, oh, I don't mean to. And it's like, that's kind of bullshit because he was talking, you interrupted him, even though I said what I said about his 3 second pause. Um, but you feel disrespected. Uh, and then not only you feel disrespected, he disrespected women, and it's like there we go. So you either don't think that your point is being heard, or you feel like he's disrespecting you literally, and I'm like, how? like in that situation, because you're in open relationship. He doesn't agree with it. This is again, I think every moment is a disagree to agree to disagree. And I think this is one of the ones where you just go okay and listen to what he's saying, and then go, cool. I don't agree with that, but all right, what else you want to talk about? And then keep it moving.
I think a lot of people these days just don't know how to have somebody disagree with them and not be offended by it. And that's just what it boils down to. Is people have more so of a if you're not with me, you're against me mindset, and that's where it shows. Because a lot of that shit ain't even like it ain't even that serious. At the end of the day, what you do, who you sleep with, etc., your fucking business, regardless of what anybody feel about it.
Yeah, true. All right, going once, going twice.
Hell yeah, Batman.
All right, RB, what you got next?
Where is she? I saw a great post. It was this black man teaching, and it was a mixed bag, but teaching other males, mainly black males, about consent. You know, he specifically said, "Hey, just because y'all had something going on last night, don't mean you wake up and send off a dick pic in the morning. I think it's going on. I think because y'all was kissing in the car, it's still good when you get in the house." And I think some people need to hear that because these days that's a big thing, and you can get yourself in a whole lot of trouble with the consent these days.
I think the most important part about that is that it's a football coach teaching his players, knowing that football players fall into this money and then feel untouchable, and at least put that in their head beforehand so they can have my deal of, hey, just because she offers a happy ending don't mean you should take it, because half of the time the team set that up so they'll have some dirt on you. I mean, like literally, just take it easy, man. Don't do that stuff. Just go out there, do your thing. Go find you a woman that you want to make your wife and marry her. And LeBron James thing. Even though I do not like LeBron James. That is one thing I can say. In the 23,000 years that he's been an NBA player, only his mom has had a scandal, not him. He hasn't had a scandal. He's been married damn near the whole time. All he did was raise kids to follow in his footsteps. They failed at it, but still, he did his best. He paid for the most, high dollar trainers, and I mean, dude just sucks. But he made it to the NBA. I mean, his dad definitely pulled cards and made it happen. But he's going to debut in the D League, and I think he's going to do well there. I think he's going to be very good there.
I can't say he suck. He got 4 more NBA points to me.
Oh, you super suck. He still sucks.
But I can score on you at will, so shut up.
You always say, look, you see when people get hurt people try to hurt people.
Hey, no, I'm just saying a fact. No, my fat ass can score on you anytime I want.
In the video game, yes, gotcha.
No, in real life.
Probably lady, you got your hand up.
Hey,
while
probably
the
beat
host
you in the
that I'm
foot
about to
race
kick
too.
out is trying to make it personal. Lady, go ahead and talk.
I just wanted to share my appreciation for that post and that coach too, right? Like I was glad to see that that conversation was being had, and you could see on the faces of the kids like they were listening. And I think the way that he said it was straightforward, and that's kind of like the tone that they needed to hear it in too. Like it wasn't like buddy buddy, it was just but it was a sense of like don't do this like or you are fucking up. Like it just I really liked the tone and his delivery, and I could tell that he was reaching those kids. So I hope more conversations like that are being had. And I know I actually just had this. I talked to my boss after work yesterday, and it ended up going into a spiral of conversations about politics and all that. One thing we talked about was, um, sexuality and stuff like that in schools. And I know that's something we've discussed and stuff on here before, but like something like that, I think like consent, or like in high school at that like understanding age, I think is still appropriate, um and coming from a good place from that mentor.
Yes, it was great to see.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of times they don't have a lot of positive male people willing to take leadership positions for young men. So to be able to see it is great.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I agree too. That's not something that you see that all that often. Usually it's kind of a behind doors type of conversation is had. I think so. The locker room is usually pretty private, but for them to kind of put that out there so that that's a game changer as far as the culture. So it's just like big, 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 big ups to that coach for simply being aware and basically taking a different approach, because usually I think you kind of have that I'm gonna say it's empty conversation. Like the words don't necessarily ring true, but like Letty said, like you could tell, like he meant that shit. Where it's just like, look, and so it's gonna come, or I think that message is gonna be heard more so because he's talking to them as the coach, but as he's also he gives a shit about them. So it's just like it's not just the whole protect your pockets or wallet or whatever. It's like I said, it's a culture. It's a game changer from a culture perspective. So I can appreciate that. And I just liked it. Not just liked it. I loved it. To be able to see, probably a guy that's not that far off from my age, but kind of coaching these kids up about consent. That's just rare. Like it's not something I've ever even seen. Like I know about it because I'm talking about it within my own circles, but like to see it in like that environment, the locker room, a football locker room, big props.
Oh yeah, I mean it really hit home because he stuck to the accountability of it. Just because you're in this situation don't mean he didn't stick to like you say the pockets of people out there to get you. He more so was like, this is what you in control of, so don't get caught up in this way.
Yeah. All right, Van Sickle, what you got?
This all I haven't seen the video yet. From what you guys are saying,
Of course not.
sounds great. The like everything about it sounds great, but like what's disturbed me about it is you guys saying like Jason G was just saying it's nice to see that. Like I feel like this should be commonplace. You know what I'm saying? Like every coach should be doing this as a fucking man and a mentor. Yeah, absolutely. Like it should not be this big of a deal. This should be the standard fucking practice.
I fucks with that.
It should be, but sometimes you got to do the dirty work because they got some dumbasses running around acting like they don't know.
Anybody else want to touch this? That's what she said. Okay. Hey, RB, you asked the question. You said how valuable is that? I don't think that's been touched on. I think that how valuable that this guy is doing this. I kind of RB Van Sickle was on talking about it like it should be in every household. It should be in every locker room. It should be something. I think that this is more. Congratulations, America. We had an election. That's all, and I'm done with that. Okay.
Oh
I
shit.
think that this is more important than that. I think what you teach on a daily basis is what's going to make or break people in general. If you can't tell these guys, especially if you're trying to make them the best athletes they can be. If that's your only goal as a coach, I think you fucking failed. I think that you should make them the best humans they can be. You should make them the best of the best, like legit. And to see the coach going in there with a passion, he's preaching this to these kids like it's the play that they fucked up on the last game. And I want to drill this into your head. Get this shit right. Stop fucking up. You know. And yeah, again, kudos to that man. Great coach.
It's just watch how you move. I mean, at the end of the day, somebody can ruin your life with something like that. You know, somebody say, I feel like such and such forced themselves on me. And they can retract the statement later and all that damage still done. If you did jail time, still done. You know, you can ruin your life, career, future. You know, going too far, making somebody feel uncomfortable. And, you know, that's the dirty truth of it. So you have to be aware of your surroundings, who you're around, and what you're doing. And that's what you can control. So, with that being said, what's more valuable to you, honesty or transparency?
This is open. I'm going honesty all the way.
Elaborate.
Truth is brutal and it sucks, but at least like you know it. Like transparency, there's no confusion there with that. You know what I mean? Like I would rather be like not made a fucking fool of because I know what's actually going on and not questioning what feelings or intent were there. You know what I'm saying? Like I would rather that no matter how harsh the truth is, I'd rather have that. Like I don't want to be looking like a dumbass because someone didn't tell me the fucking truth. You know?
But I could be honest and not transparent with you.
Also true. And I'm
I,
not saying it's more valuable than the other either. I'm just saying, like me personally, I would prefer just the honesty.
mm-hmm.
I think I'm. I think transparency to me is a little bit more important because we were just talking about it, and
You can hide a lot behind the truth.
yeah,
Through transparency, you're laying everything out on the table.
yeah, someone could be like honest, but their motivations or motive or intention could be
No, like not even motive or intention, their method. Yeah, I saved this child. I murdered 10 people though. Honesty is I saved this child. Transparency is I saved this child and murdered those 10 people.
Great example. That's a good example.
I like that. I like that. That's good stuff.
I'm going transparency.
Yeah, I agree.
Is more valuable.
My thing is, now, what was the question again, RB? What was the question for this topic before I say what, please?
Honesty versus transparency. Which one means more to you?
Me. Okay, thank you. Which one means more to me? I don't need to know everything about you. All right. If I ask questions, I want you to give me answers. I'm not looking for your backstory, your life meanings, the lessons, and all that stuff. I just want to know if I say, "Hey Tyler, are those prescription glasses? Or are you trying to wear them so you can look cute?" I want you to say,
So, yes, you want soul answer.
"That's it."
That is something my dad would always get on to me about specifically, and I quote, Tyler, I asked you what time it is, not how to build a clock.
Right. That's it. That's how I feel. I don't need to know the ins and outs, the way of life, the circle of life, the tree of life, but none of that shit. I just want to know, how do you feel right now? Good. I mean, like, if you want to go to elaborate on how do you feel, cool, that's fine. I'll listen to that because I did ask you that question. But I do not need to know how your mother feels, or did her toe infection go away, or I don't. That's on your mind, but that's not how you feel. That's all it is. That's all I got for that one. My answer is honesty. I don't give a shit about your transparency.
Woo woo.
I guess I will read these
There's some honesty and
because the host
transparency there.
likes dead silence. So let me read these. Transparency. Benita says people can manipulate honesty, but with transparency, nothing is hidden. And I think people have this misconception about transparency sometimes that shit is like, ouch. Oh yeah, I feel that. RB says, so I became SlyFox friend because I enjoy going to his house. That is which statement is that for you? Is that honesty or transparency?
Oh, well, you read the other one, you're going to know.
I'm not reading the other one until you give me your answer.
Read it.
I already read it. I read all this shit. All right. I'm not the host. All right. So you know what? Here, let me.
Said, honestly, can't expect or even need everyone. About.
But anyways, what you got, Jason Mike?
Tyler makes a good point about the difference between the two, but I have to apply it to a situation in order to determine, which one I'm gonna. So let's say somebody cheated on somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is transparency telling them, I cheated on you with this person, but not telling them I cheated on this person for like the last 6 months. And honesty is like, yo, I cheated on you with this person for the last 6 months. Because if that is the definition of how we're defining these two terms, then I mean you get the short end of the stick either way, but at least in the honesty, for sure how to quantify that, based on how you feel and what you're willing to take or tolerate. So I think I'm gonna have to go with honesty on this.
Nice. We all build different in transparency, honesty. I mean, me, I don't care. Whatever works for you, just know how you build our relationship. I give it back to you.
It's a weird dynamic because I think we're thinking in terms of like how we deal with adults. But like when I think about like my kid when he was little, like I'm not always gonna be honest with him because I don't want to hurt his fucking feelings. Like if your picture on the fridge is the best that he can do, and it's like, oh, he's coming up as a wannabe artist, then you try to be encouraging, but you're not gonna necessarily say that's a piece of shit. You could do better. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a weird dynamic when I'm looking at transparency and honesty. Now, if they ask me like, please, just be 100%, then I'm not gonna lie because that's, I think, a quality that most of us have, where it's just like, I don't think people want to lie to people they care about, especially when you're being asked to be direct. And so, to bring it back into the adult realm and to answer the question, I think I value transparency as well because there's something about transparency where it's like you're willing to basically be vulnerable enough to kind of tell it all, versus like, with honesty, you can still tell the truth and be honest about a situation, but like if a question is missed, for instance, like with the details, then transparency is basically giving up all the details versus honesty is kind of just answering, I guess, a basic question without giving as much detail. So like to Jason Michael's point with the cheating, like if someone asks you, have you been cheated on me? You can just say yes. But if they don't ask you with who or for how long, you know, I think that's where the transparency thing is at, where it's just like the devil's in the details. So it's a very hard question to ask. But yeah, to answer the question, I think I'm going to go with transparency because I feel like there's something that I want from my, you know, friends, family, loved ones, where they're forthright about, you know, telling the truth versus kind of being able to manipulate honesty.
Hey, omitting information is not lying.
I mean, in some situations, you know, I was listening to the radio and they said something about that shit the other day about how, you know, even though we feel like lying is bad, et cetera, a lot of us need to be lied to sometimes about certain situations because we don't accept the truth as forthcoming as we should, even though we claim we want it at all times. Mm, you know, and then also it's just some shit just don't sound right when you tell the truth about it. So I think it's a give and take. You know, sometimes if you can be honest without being transparent and let somebody be a victim of their own ignorance at the time, and it ain't hurting nobody, then it's just like, well, shit. You know, how many times have you known something or was told something and you was fine before you found out the whole story about it? I give you one personally about me. I was I knew my parents wasn't married when they had me. Okay, and they got married when I was like 6 or something. Well, I was getting my birth certificate because I was trying to get a twit card, and that was like a few years ago. So I grabbed the wrong birth certificate and see when I was born, I had two last names. Okay, that ain't my last name now. So you know, I asked my mama. Come to find out, my mama was still legally married when her and my daddy conceived me. So they gave me her married last name and my dad's last name when I was first born. They had to change it. So the more transparent they got, the worse it got in my head. Like I didn't want to know all that shit. And that was just one thing. Like you know, I knew they wasn't married and all that, but I didn't know she still technically wasn't divorced. But that was something more with the my mom's first husband went legally insane. So I say, you know, I'm a survivor dealing with my mom. You made that first thing go crazy. But it was just one of them things, like I say, they was always honest about it, but the more transparent they got about it, the weirder it got to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not a fan of that. That sucks. I would never wanted to know that if that was the case.
Right. I was okay, like okay, y'all got married when I was 6, cool. Everything else, I was just like, oh wow.
Yeah, two last names is crazy. So, how did they get rid of Hobson off the birth certificate?
uh, when we did a DNA
But
test and we found out that I can still love your mother as much as I want.
RB.
Yes.
So RB. So if you never knew, um, you know, all these years, right? And
Uh,
then at some point you decided that something wasn't right and you wanted to know. I guess would you want to know? That's the question. Would you want to know if that happened?
with that, it didn't affect me either way. It's just like I say. Besides me getting the right and wrong birth certificate, it don't affect me in no way.
Okay, let me twist it. What if um what if a foster kid finds out that his real parents had other children, right? And he didn't know that those other children were from different people. And he wanted to know, who his parent was. Are they wrong for wanting to know?
That, that honestly don't have nothing to do with me, in my opinion. If they care to know, they should. If they don't, they don't. Like I say with my situation, I just rather not do all that because it didn't really affect me. It just was at that moment. I'm just like, why I got the wrong birth certificate, and this is what he told me my birth certificate was. And he's like,
Right.
oh, you grabbed the wrong one.
Do you think that she set you up so you can find out without having to tell you?
No, because she didn't even know she had it.
Damn.
I said, who the hell is Robert Johnson? I know who that's not. But again, I never was lied to about it. I wasn't misled. It's just wasn't important. I mean, she always told me she changed my name before, but the the details just came out later. So I'm like, oh,
Well, be love. Let me ask you a question, because apparently, if people don't get called, they just sit back and relax. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Be love. Do you have a honesty slash transparency opinion? Which one do you think is more important? Or are you here just to listen? Let me know. And I'm gonna take that mute. It's still muted as because Kim Diamonds, I'm coming for you next. So I'm gonna take that mute as I'm logging on, so you have numbers, but I'm not really paying attention. Gotcha. Kim Diamonds, what about you? Transparency or honesty? Which one is more valuable to you? I'm gonna take that as I'm sitting right beside B Love, and we both just wanted to have an extra bump on the show. but support is support. So just take it. All right, Letty and Tyler, what you got? All right, I got Tyler. Letty, did I get what you said? Cause I remember what Tyler said.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
it was kind of a joint thing because
Oh,
I said that I said I think that transparency is more important. And then I said about how like the motives or intention, like someone could be honest.
thanks.
And then I steamrolled.
Yeah.
And then he just was like, "Bam, take that." I know I got the answers. All right, cool. All right.
Hey, SlyFox.
Hey, Kim, what's going on?
Sorry, I stepped away for a minute. So you're talking about transparency as far as relationships and everything?
Yeah. The ideology of transparency versus the ideology of the truth, the fact, honesty. Which one is more
So,
important? I mean, there's a difference between them, and depending to you in particular, which one is more valuable?
transparency and being honest, because people can tell you whatever they feel that you want to hear to make the situation soft. But you have to put respect on it if someone tells you exactly what it is. You can't necessarily be mad about it. I mean, you can feel some kind of way and be like, well, damn. But then you have to think, would you rather somebody be completely upfront and honest about everything with you? You let it soak in, and you be like, well, can't be mad because at least they told me the truth. Or you want somebody to kind of sugarcoat it to temper who you are.
Yes.
So at the end of the day,
Yeah.
every day people tell you shit that they figure that you want to hear. But you got to put some respect on it if somebody tells you something directly that honestly affects you. And you'd be like, well, damn. I mean, it might be a sting sometime to it. And you'd be like, well, but at the end of the day, it will make you better. And it makes you better with them.
Okay.
Because you don't been lied to all your life. But it only takes somebody to step in and say, look, XYZ. You ain't got to like it, but you got to respect it. And ultimately, you'll find out that that's the better choice.
Walk around and find out.
So, I mean,
I love it.
that's my thing. I see it as you go through life being with people who lie, cheat, and do certain shit, but it takes for you to have to step into a situation where someone tells you a bunch of stuff about yourself is direct. And me being from Chicago, we all about direct. You know what I'm saying? You take it, you be like, damn. You be like, damn. But at the end of the day, you be like, well, you know, it is what it is. Okay. You can't be mad at somebody for being direct with you, and you rather take that than somebody to bullshit you, friend, foe, family, or whatever, relationships all your life telling you shit that is not at your advantage.
Sounds personal. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds very personal. But I agree with you. People take advantage of people a lot of the times. But all right, cool. I'm with it. I feel you. Van Sickle, what you got, man?
I was just hollering at my buddy Quentin. He hit me up. I'm like, I'm on the show. So I was gonna tell Quentin had he had a comment about it. He said, as far as honesty versus transparency, honesty is more or less speaking truthfully in response to a question. Transparency is when no one has to ask the question in the first place, and that's why you never trust a hoe.
I was with you until the last sentence.
Yeah, I don't know why he mixed that in there, but
It didn't put a little cherry on top. It did not. But that is something. It's probably a bad thing, but I'm okay with that. I'm that person that I don't want to know everything about you. I really don't. And the stuff that you feel like you need to tell me, by all means, tell me. And if it's stuff that you want to know, ask me. True, that's honesty. But transparency is like the dumbest thing that I think some women, obviously, is not every woman, but some women have a hang up on is body count. And I'm like, please don't ask me that. Just leave that where it's at. Because when I tell you, it doesn't mean nothing. We already smashed. So now you just picking just to pick. Like, that's dumb. Why do you want to know that? But if you want to know that, this is my little cherry on top. Boop, I will tell you. But yeah, don't ask. Don't tell. That's
do
It
women care
always
more
comes
about that than they
down
lead
to
on?
everybody got a pass.
but why though?
I agree with you. Everybody has a pass.
Mm.
And you have to say, don't ask questions that you don't want to hear the response about, because the response that you're asking for, you may not be ready for.
Why does that change stuff though? Like for real, why does that change things?
I think people just don't be having shit to talk about and they ask them ask questions. Like, we be having a good time. When the last time you slept with somebody?
You want to know?
Listen, I met you Tuesday, so you shouldn't care about nothing before Tuesday. Okay?
No, I think it has to do with the fact that sometimes people have their perception of what they think things are, and so they go with what they project into you. And so, like, you get, like, if they asking a question, they just want to confirm what they feel is true in comparison to what the truth might be. And so some people get their feelings hurt because they like, well, I believe this, and then you hit them with the truth, and it's like, then they get all mad.
Exactly, but they be listening to other people's shit, so thinking and comparing what they said. This what that was.
Anytime
Your
people
shit
talk,
and they shit is completely different.
it sounds
Don't do that.
so personal. Whenever Kim talks, every time, like, yeah, that motherfucker, like she's talking about somebody in the. That's crazy.
No, I'm just look. I've sat down at a round table with a whole lot of people. You know, I'm older, so when you sit and listen, and you just be like, and maybe I grade they shit on my shit, and you be like, what? Who? You know, that's stupid. But you letting somebody else dictate your shit when everybody's there. If everybody was ultimately the same, you know, what would that be? We're all different for a reason. So you can't sit up there and ask these same questions to somebody when ultimately you know or you should know this person's character.
There you go.
You really think that you can ask them this shit? You really think that the response you're gonna get is the same response that she got?
Okay.
You delusional.
I feel you. I feel you. Well, why every time I tell Kim I feel what she just said, Vance said, handle. Vance said, what you got, fam? And stop pounding that vodka because we know how you get.
Hey, shut up. It's tequila.
Oh, that's even worse.
And see, ding, 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 ding. There you go.
Yeah, thank you. So no, I actually I had to say, like, not like I never agree with him, but for once on this podcast, I like completely 110% agree with Jason G. What he said. People do try to fabricate an image of you, especially when you're infatuated with somebody. They try to, see you in this certain image that they make up for you. And everybody kind of fucking does it, And I think some people do want to confirm that. And I mean, when it comes to things like body counts, I was watching a video the other day where they were saying that it was on that whatever podcast, and the guy was pretty much saying, well, then I guess you shouldn't care about a man's background check, his legal background check, right? And was comparing it to that, because a high body count, it doesn't always, but it could mean it's character, man. It's a pattern. It shows a pattern of fucking behavior for most people. And I mean, it's all on you what you decide to
I like to
deal with and put up with on that. I was actually like, it's crazy that y'all brought this up, because I was seeing today too that more women than I initially thought care about body count too. And I've said this to you guys on the show, like, I have a high body count, and if somebody doesn't want to date me because of that, I accept that. Like, because I have to, like, because I did the dirt, and now I can't be trusted. You know what I'm saying? Like, if someone feels that way about me, I accept that, and that's okay. Everybody's got their fucking preferences. And but I did kind of want to ask, since there are women in here, like, does that shit matter to y'all? Like, men with high body count, do you find that untrustworthy?
What you did before me ain't got shit to do with what you're doing with me. Now, when we talk about what we're doing together or with me, then it is what it is. That's a conversation. But what you did in your past, like I said, everybody got one. I'm not finna sit up there, because truth be told, the shit might be reversed. You might be like, damn, you a whole whore. But, like I said,
Truth be told, you wasn't a virgin when I met your head.
Again, we all was young and you did what you did. So, yeah, let that go.
All right, lady, what you got?
I mean, like as much as I'd like to say that like it doesn't matter, I think at a certain point internally, like subconsciously, it would
Yes.
it would automatically make me like question like is that a red flag? So it would already like it would put the thing in my mind, and it depends on how far off, you know, my number is versus there. But like it doesn't really matter to me if you slept with a lot of people, but like it does, it could say something to me if like you don't like if the person doesn't have like a lot of long relationships, then it's going to make me question like, you know, and sometimes you might think, oh well, maybe they haven't found the right one or something like that, but it could be something that they're also dealing with, that could, not saying it's not able to be overcame,
Over.
but yeah, you know, overcome, I don't know. Not to say that the right person can't like help that person get past that block or whatever, which is, you know, um it would make me probably question whether or not whether I would just be another bump in the road, you know.
Again, if you was a whore before they met you and you had a whole bunch of situations, you might want to disclose that before you go any further to day 2.
No.
But
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Not yes.
Yeah.
No.
That goes right back to what Taylor was saying, though. Can't trust these hoes.
Doesn't it though?
No.
And
That's
I
not the
said, and
point.
I didn't
If you don't
exclude myself
disclose
from
you're
that
not a
neither.
whore, then you can't trust these hoes.
And I literally did not exclude myself from that either. Take note there. I mean, if somebody don't want to trust me because I used to be a hoe back in the day, then that's fine. I did that, and I
Listen,
got to put up with that.
where you get yourself in your head is on you. That ain't got nothing to do with the other person. When it comes to the body count, to put that in your head to go, yeah, your body count is higher than mine, so therefore am I a bump in the road? Well, damn, think about your shit. Ma'am, your body count's lower than mine, so are you less experienced? Like, do you know how to do certain things? Like, stop doing that, man. Nobody gives a damn about that stuff. Come
Whatever,
on,
bro.
man.
Why we gotta
And
mess up a good time? We having a great time right now. Why would you
I
ask?
want to I want to clarify. Like I
What?
want to clarify that
It's
like
your fault.
it's not really like something that if someone has a high body count and I don't, I wouldn't necessarily like completely disregard, be like, oh no. But I'm just saying that like as much as I would like to be cool with it, it might create a thought, a pause for me to try to assess my
Just like I
emotions.
said.
And it could be the role reversal. It could be role reversal. Say I have the high body, like you said, SlyFox. Say I have the high body count and they don't. Then I could be like, well, are they ready for?
Right.
Are they at
Oh,
the?
No, but I ain't ready for it. Yeah.
So it could, but then it goes to like balance, and are you guys able to communicate and get past those differences to move beyond?
And now I feel you. Now we on the same side of life.
Just sometimes, how you think you got the good love and I had to practice? I worked for this.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't
But
just wake up
really,
one day.
Uh-oh.
but really, is that really the question? I mean, honestly, most people may have it in their mind, but are you really saying, oh, okay, as you're starting to get to know someone, oh, okay, things you
Look,
like, what
if
you
I'm
do,
starting to get to know
really?
somebody, I'm not asking their body count
Eh,
because
eh, 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 Yeah.
I'm not.
Look, really,
It's not important to
if
me.
you asking them what they
I'm
like,
honesty over transparency. I don't need to know your damn body count.
Right.
really, if
I
you
mean,
asking them what they like, you might already have your answer.
I definitely
You
just
just
want to be
Right.
not
honesty on this one.
Facts.
getting a number from it, but you got your answer like, damn, okay. They
Yeah.
might be a little out of my league, okay.
Little freak.
So,
Yeah. Hold on. I'm gonna get to Tyler. Tyler got his hand up, but Jason G does this thing. Jason G don't unmute unless he's ready to speak. Then he did that before. So give me some.
I was
Jason.
just gonna simply say that number one, first and foremost, body count doesn't matter with me. But like the only way it would be a concern, I think, like Taylor had mentioned something earlier with regards to like maybe like a pattern. So like, let's say you're dealing with somebody that's a sex addict, and again, this is hypothetical. Like that's the only way that I'm like, hey, you might have a problem, to the point where like that's something that you're trying to soothe. Sex is your out or whatever. That might be problematic from the standpoint of like, if we're in a relationship, and again, depending on the dynamic, like let's just say we're monogamous for simple purposes, like that could be a problem from the standpoint of like that's not something that I think that could work. But I guess if you're poly and you are open to them having multiple partners, then that's cool. But again, the only other concern that I would have is essentially, like, are you protecting yourself? Are you being safe? And as long as you're healthy,
Yeah,
that's the only thing that really
safe
matters.
sex.
Safe sex is great sex, so you
You better wear latex because you don't want that latex.
And ain't nobody commenting on the
Shut up, man,
on
Sickle. We're
the
talking
legal
about a
thing.
damn
The
verse
legal
right
thing,
now.
man.
Son of a bitch. And you're not up right now. You're not up. Tyler is up.
It was ignored.
I'm muting you. Tyler, what you got, sir? Apologies for his rude outburst.
I was going to touch down on a question or topic that Kim had just mentioned of like, do people actually go into relationships like looking for those numbers? Like, personally, I don't go looking for those numbers, but when they come up in conversation, because inevitably every relationship I've been in, that's come up for some fucking reason or another, at least subconscious, on some sort of subconscious level, like, yeah, I do compare myself to like, and for me, it's less of like a, yeah, I'm a badass. It's more like, I've always had like a iffy ego, confidence, whatever. And so if I'm dating someone who's like 2-3 times my count, yeah, that makes me feel like I need to step up my fucking game.
With who though? Because now you're
because
Hey, that's a good point.
Experience than I have.
You'd be like, bye, I'll see you in 10.
Hey,
Damn, you need
give
to
me some
catch
time.
up.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
That's what. Maybe that's why it's like not important. You don't want
Do
to
you
put
have a good
yourself
home
on the
referral
spot.
service?
Hey, that's beautiful. I love that just happened. It's like, you know what? If I don't feel like I'm experiencing her, I'm gonna go get my number.
That's funny, lady.
Okay, all right. We gotta move forward because this is good. This is good stuff. All right, easy, simple concept. We are in 2024. Life is the internet. Would you go back to life without the internet? Now, this question means you've lived since the internet came out until now, and in tomorrow morning, would you be okay waking up with no internet? Jason Michael, I know that you love questions like this. What do you got, sir? Is 300 too high? No, that's good for you.
You wake up and there's no internet?
You wake up, there's no internet, and there never will be internet again. Are you okay with that? Not. I'm gonna go find a magical box and make it myself. None of that shit.
Hell yeah.
You're good with that?
I am.
Why? Give me a little bit of background.
I think a reset forces us to rely on the skills that we have outside of what the internet provides. And so for all those people who, like me, got a bunch of what people would call useless knowledge run around up in their head, when they can't go look up something on Google, who are they going to ask?
Ghostbusters, obviously.
I'm still a chef.
So I can still cook. Fuck the internet. I can still cook. Goddamn it. I'm gonna be all right.
Two things that will never go away: food and bev, and advancement of our civilization. Those two things will never go away.
Guns. Gotta keep guns. Thank you for security. That's my thing. That's what I do. And by all means, I'm good. My job. We're good for the future. Trust and believe. Shout out. Never mind. Okay. Thank you, Jace Michael. Is Kim out there?
She is.
Kim, what you think?
I think that if it was temporary, yeah, I'd be okay. But if it was forever, no.
It's forever, fam. You'll never get it back.
Then no, because I think that there's more advancements and good things. There are bad things or like negative things, I guess, that come with it, but there's more good things that come with the technology and the things we're able to do. I mean, even just like my family lives far away. I mean, I like to be able to just send a text to my mom and like stuff like that. I don't. I know, yeah, I can pick up the phone and call her, but
Right. We have
it's
to go
nice
back
to
to
go
that.
video chat and like with my family in California, like things like that. And I think that I just think there's more good things than bad things.
Okay. All right. Respect. I was thinking about that, like text messaging and stuff. Is there for you internet or micro whatever nerds? Do you have text messages without internet? Can you do that? Is that something that can happen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes.
It's called the mail.
Okay. Look, I don't pay attention to stuff. I just get it and use it. That's all I don't give a shit about how it's done. Like, oh, thank you. Okay. So yeah, you can still text, you can call, you just can't. What the internet as a whole? What does it do for us? Like, let us
Well,
Google stuff and.
it depends on because I'm trying to get down to the nerdiness of your question. So like
Good.
the
You're up.
internet. Sorry, I'm
No,
sorry.
you good.
It went down before, but then I just kept talking. The internet, all the difference between a phone call and like images being sent is the width of the
Everybody
wavelength,
can
like
see it
the
instead of just.
band. No. Hold on,
Oh,
hold on.
sorry.
The bandwidth of the wave that is being transmitted. So like on 4G and 5, so the difference between 4G and 5G, for example, is 5G is a smaller wavelength with a larger bandwidth, so you can put more information on a transmission. So like your phones and stuff like that, they use a specific frequency to send the data of your voice and conversation. But like when you're sending data and like searches and movie and stuff, that's all going off of like a different frequency. So technically they would kind of be the same unless you put like a restriction on your question. um because it would be literally the internet is just transmitting information via waves. That's all it is.
Now, how do you feel about that? Yeah. Okay.
And personally, I don't know if I can answer that, because that was just my nerd thing into the thing. I think it's a double-edged sword. I ultimately would probably not like to go back to life without the internet, because I do see a lot of the positives. I don't necessarily agree that there are more positives than negatives, at least.
It sucks, man. That's Sierra. Oh,
It
Sierra,
sucks
get on
because
here.
of
What the hell?
the
What are you-
spread of
get on here.
misinformation. Like if the internet was used correctly, like there would be such potential, and just like people, like it is literally the ability to share knowledge, and what we do instead is share
2 minutes.
popularity or views, like likes and
All right.
bullshit.
Thank you, lady. Thank you, lady.
No.
Jason Michael, look, I've come to you already with this question, sir. You're gonna have to wait till everybody else gets some of this. All right. I will recognize your hand, but let me get everybody else first. Dr. Renee, I ain't heard that beautiful voice all night long. How you feeling?
Yeah.
I feel good. You haven't called on me, so I was just waiting to make sure that you knew I was still here.
Oh, baby.
Hey, Doc.
Hey,
Hey,
what's
shut
up?
the fuck up, dude. Shut up. Shut your ass up. Thank you. Now, Doc, it's all good. I was just, I was sitting back, kicking back, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, just seeing what was going on. But if you got something to say, just say it. Don't wait for me. I've spoiled the group. I think I spoiled the group and going around the bush calling people. If you got something to say, feel free to chime in. But what do you think about it?
I put my answer on the
I
page.
see. That's
but
why we don't call you right there. That's why
no,
I didn't ask you what you
but
put on
I'm
your
gonna, I'm going.
about it right now.
Yeah, I grew up without the internet. So yes, I would be fine without the internet because what it does for people, it allows people to go out. It allows people to travel more, to see family members. It allows us to make phone calls instead of texting. To hear someone's voice is always a great deal. So yes, I'd be fine without the internet.
Hey Doc, you wouldn't get your diploma without the internet, fam.
Yes, I would. I would be in school.
You can't get it at home.
I'd be on campus.
She said, "I'll be in that thing. I get my shit no matter what." All right.
There you go.
Thank you, Doc. Jason G,
Mhm.
did we get you got one already? Or you good?
I mean, I agree with Dr. Renee to a certain degree because I remember life without the internet, and so I know it's possible. But I don't think I would want to live without it because there's a lot of things that I rely on technology wise, and so the first thing I think about, like, I wouldn't be in this damn Zoom right now. You know what I mean? So it's just like I done made friends over the web, and it's just like we meet in real life, of course, but like I think that there is a importance to clearly doing things in person, but like there's a lot of shit that I do online. And I was talking about this with Benita the other day. Like we were just clowning because like the car that we rented when we visited Memphis had the GPS right in it, and I was just like, I remember back in the day, you know, we printed out shit on MapQuest and like even before my dad's time or in my dad's time, it was Thomas Guide, like where you had to bust out the map. So it's just like, bro, like things are a lot better. And again, we should be able to still function from a skill set standpoint, but like I like where we are today. I like technology, so I don't know that I would want to not have internet.
100% free. I ain't got shit to prove.
Hey, I think you do got something to prove, RB.
I ain't got shit to prove.
Uh,
I didn't live without it. I don't have to.
let me ask you this. RB, you're very good at debates. You're very good at debating. And one of the major things that you like to do is fact check. When you got to go break out the encyclopedia, you got to go break out the dictionary. He's a master debater. You're right. Um, how can you do that when people start having these debate situations and you
No,
can't fact check?
I'm a masturbator. I need my X videos at night. Okay.
But you just said you're good without it.
I'm a masturbator.
You just said you're good without it.
It's a UFC match every night between my hand and my penis.
All right. Well, that is definitely some information we could have done without. Miss Diamonds. Miss Diamonds.
Do you remember having to steal our grandpa's tapes and my dad's tapes and?
Yes, I do, and I
Right.
those were cherished moments. But
they cherished moments. But now I can just type in exactly what I'm looking for.
I would love to say that's accurate, but I still can't find this 1.0 I've been looking for, and I've been looking for that for 3 months.
Man, listen, somewhere in our paper trail, we got a name of something wrong, bro. The dude name might not be Jerry Butler, man.
It might be. Hey, look, watch this. I'm just gonna put this out there right quick because I know this is off topic, but there was a porno that was done somewhere between the 70s and the 80s, and we always called it the Oriental Maid because it was this dude, and I'm not gonna say any porn stars' names because we may have had that wrong, but we all remember it was this dude. He had a situation where he kept having visions of this Oriental woman that was the maid, and he just couldn't get past it. And it was this and this and this and that, and it was all that. Been searching for months now, still can't find that. But the people that I named, the porn stars that I named, I was like, okay, this person was in it, this person was in it, and this person was in it for sure. Found it, found that one, and I was like, I found it. Push play, that ain't it. Nope, trash. Take that off, that ain't it. Found a website where they talk, what do they analyze porns from classic porns, and this website verbatim said exactly what I said. And I was like, that's it right there. And when I looked it up, that movie does not exist. This is like the fucking Sinbad fucking genie movie. It does not exist.
And we know it. We know it's real because it had this one part where he lost it. And he was like, "You're not her.
You're not her." And he said that, and it was so funny because, man, we dumb. Me and my group of friends, we so damn dumb. It's some random shit that we'll say, and we'll be talking to our damn parents, and our parents will say something like, "Oh, did Shayla win the fight?" No, it's not her. It's not her. And we over here making fun of a porno, but the parents getting the information they need. It's crazy like that. The Mandela effect, we'll have a different time to talk about that because we're gonna put that right over there with the Bermuda Triangle and the other stuff. We're gonna have it one day where we can just talk about that, but it's something fishy about that whole situation. And I'm gonna say this: for you guys who like to Google shit and figure it out, the movie that I found out that they said was the movie is called Real Men Eat Keisha. But the one that I pushed play on to see if that was it was called Real Men Do Eat Keisha. And I was like, that's bullshit. You're just going to change one word and just change my whole life? And I don't think that's... I'm sorry. I went on the whole... I went this way. We over here. Kim Diamonds, I was on you. Do you have
yes.
What you got? Go ahead.
What? So as far as the internet, I couldn't at this point, it's about time management, and the internet is great because it allows you to speed things up, researching quicker than not having it back then and having to look through books or paper or a call. It's a great time management for me. Absolutely needed in my job. So no, I couldn't just go back to saying, no, I don't need that. We need that. Evolution needs that. So, new stuff is always great. What's up next? That's all I can say.
All right. I'm with you. Keep moving. What you say? Well, it was a movie. Always moving on. Oh, the black superhero from Harlem on Netflix. Luke Cage. Move forward, always moving. Something like that. I ain't seen it in a while. I watched it. I still ain't finished the second season, matter of fact. I hope that shit's still there now. It's on Disney now. But yeah, that's what's up though. That's what's up. All right. Van Sickle, go ahead. Look at him. He was patiently waiting this time. I muted you. Did you already?
Yeah, I was about to say it's almost like some asshole muted me or something like that.
Well, when you're an asshole,
I'm playing. I ain't gonna be one of the people, but I'm totally gonna be one of those people. I did answer on the page, but I still mean the same answer, and it was that. Well, I mean, dude, my family, we had dial-up. We were the first family in town to have the internet. And back in those days when everyone wasn't on the internet, it was a lot more fun. I'm not hyping up dial-up. I'm just saying before everyone was on the internet, yeah, I wouldn't go back to before the internet because it has made ridiculous people famous for no reason, for saying Hawk Tuah on a fucking interview. You know what I'm saying? But like, it also helps hold people accountable for things, which I'm a huge fan of. Because now, if a fucking cop speaks to me, I bust out my phone and start recording immediately, and they fucking behave every single time. And no backwoods southern fucking Arkansas cop's gonna get me caught up on some bullshit.
Whoa,
I'm gonna have everything on fucking camera.
My mom's just backwood Arkansas cop. What the fuck, man?
Your mom is not a white, overweight male cop. Okay.
Wow. So it makes a difference. That's sexist.
Yeah.
We're sexist.
Shit. Bro, don't act like you ain't from here. Come on now. You know how they get. But it does suck. Like the internet, there's several things about it that do suck. But I think y'all were even touching down on it earlier about like GPS and stuff. I remember like as a kid not having a cell phone and having to find like figure out read roadmaps and shit like that. And it's cool to be able to do that. You should be able to do that. But a fucking GPS is too fucking handy, bro. Like it has made life fucking easier. Could I go back? Sure. Would I want to? Why?
Man, I think it's a manly thing because I did land navigation in the Army, and I feel like fucking GPS. All I need to know is where that mountain is and where that stream is at, and I can get you anywhere in the fucking world. You know? But no, I wouldn't do it either. Fuck that. Dos Manos, what you got on that? Oh, by the way, the return of Dos Manos. Haven't seen that guy in a while.
Don't really, I don't really have a deal, because everything like that, every good thing, like every blessing has a curse. So there's the pros and cons about it. And I know a lot of people weigh in on it, but to me, shit that's out of my control. I don't too much worry about it. So I would just have a yabba dabba do time. I mean,
wow, it's funny you say that because there's a conspiracy theory that says that the Flintstones is from the future. It's
that's
just
exactly why I said that.
oh, okay, all right. We'll find out somebody else do research on the internet that you wouldn't have to do that research on. Okay. All right, Jason Michael, what you got? He's like, I forgot, motherfucker. You made me wait too long.
Yeah. I had a point of rebuttal about something that Letty said. I think what I was going to say was that if you think about the time before the internet, right? And I'm not saying that creativity wasn't more or less during the age of the internet. I just think that before the internet, creativity was forced to be more imaginative because you didn't have all of this instant content available to you. And so what you were developing, what you were creating, was original thought. It wasn't taking all of this bombarded content and having an epiphany. And so I think that if the internet was gone, we would return to that. And when you're talking to somebody on the other side of a phone, right? You don't see them, right? You don't see what their facial expression looks like. You don't see what their body language looks like. And so you have to imagine what that is, right? And when you think about something you can't see right now, you have to imagine what it is. And so I think before the internet, there was a lot of that. And so we had a lot of new things, right? People came up with new things because it forced them to do so. But now we have all of this stuff that is instantly available to us, and it's noise, right? And it just distracts you from your imaginative process. So I think that progress would increase if the internet wasn't there, because necessity is the mother of invention.
All right, well, cause hey, I'm with you on that one. You got?
Nah.
You don't agree?
Nah.
Elaborate.
Just in the past 15 years, how far technology it came. And I say that and I mean, just with your phone. Your phone went from barely being able to get on the internet and hold the pixelated pictures to now you have high quality camera, internet, music, all in your phone. Well, you used to have multiple devices 10, 15, 20 years ago to have that.
But I could play the hell out of some Snake, though.
But people were satisfied with a Polaroid back then.
I mean, yeah, but it's just the evolution. Like you say, you think it would be moving even faster, but it is still moving. More so you know what's out there, you know what's patented, what's not, so you don't have a lot of people making the same thing also now. I think it's actually harder now because it's trying to figure out what would actually be plausible or work in this world.
Right, but all of that is noise to the imaginative process.
Oh, he just said the key word. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know we have a key word, and the key word was noise. And noise, I'm lying, I'm just bullshitting because Jason G said something. Now here it is. And what followed that? You've got mail. That's my shit. All right. Technology is crazy. All right. Speaking of technology, I guess this kind of goes down that list. We're going to talk about what 2 things would you want for free? And let's see. I wish I had that. I gotta do better. The picture. All right. Here's the. All right. Here it is. Free weed. Y'all remember this on your own, please. Free weed. Free pizza. Free housekeeping. Free gas. Free makeup. Free alcohol. Free rent. Free coffee. Free groceries. Free tacos. Free massages. You can only keep 2. Free for life. I'm going to do that one more time, and then we're going to go. All right? If you ain't got a pen and paper, what was that? Van Sickle biting on the pen? My man. That's what I'm talking about. Write it down, fam. All right. Free weed. Free pizza. Free housekeeping. Free gas. Free makeup. Free alcohol. Free rent. Free coffee. Free groceries. Free tacos. And free massages. And only pick 2. I'm going to get Jason, Michael, and Kim. What you got?
Well, Kim's in the bathroom, but I can tell you right now, she don't say free pizza. Oh, here she is. She was moving a desk. I think Kim would say free pizza as one of them. 2 free things from this list.
No, I would not. I would say free gas and free groceries because they're the 2 most expensive things.
Oh, I guess she heard you.
Keyword. The most expensive thing she took.
I'm gonna say free groceries because you can always make tacos with groceries. And man, if gas was free, the transportation would be crazy.
It's not for everyone. It's just for you.
And that's a fact. She said that. It's not for everybody, it's for you because other people pick other things.
And weed's already free. All you got to do is grow it yourself. I'm trying to think of how to monetize one of those free things.
Can free rent be changed to free mortgage? Because then I would pick that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do with the free rent and free groceries. If rent translates to mortgage.
2 times. Gotcha. All right. Letty and Tyler. What y'all got?
What?
Rent and groceries for sure.
Oh.
I mean,
yeah.
as tempting as, weed and stuff would be, like, I don't spend that much relatively. And, like, if I could also just, like, get free groceries, like, granted, I'm an Aldi shopper, true and true, but, like, I could go to Whole Foods and get some crazy cheese because my groceries are paid for,
You ain't lying. You ain't never lying.
Ultimately, all right, my food's paid for, the roof over my head's paid for. Okay, anything and everything I make from this point on is just whatever the fuck I want to do with money.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do I want internet this month? Cool. Do I want to not have internet? Go back to the dark ages? Fuck it. I just have nothing but free money. I never have to worry ever again.
Yeah.
All right,
So
I'm
that's
with
my
you.
2 cents.
No, it does make sense. You guys are 4-0 right now. Dr. Renee, what you got?
Rent and grocery.
5-0. Jason G?
I think the general consensus is the rent and groceries, but because I am so goddamn lazy, I gotta go with rent and housekeeping. Like, I want somebody to clean my shit up.
Look, I'll pay for the house. I'll pay for the groceries. Just come clean that shit up. After I make all these groceries, I'll clean the shit up. All right, I'm with you. I feel you. B-Love. B-Love, you wasn't here when we touched on that, sir. R.I.P. What you got?
Still. All right. I picked weed. And
I'm going with
rent.
Weed and rent?
Yeah, because with weed, you got income.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. You got
ultimate hustler.
you selling it.
I mean, you can pay for everything else with as long as you got that going. You can buy your food. You can buy whatever else you need.
Okay. All right. I feel you. What about you, Kim Diamond? What you got?
Feuded.
Well, I say rent and groceries because if you take care of those two, you can afford everything else on the damn list. You can make some tacos, get some pizza, pick up some makeup, some alcohol, shit, rent by itself at these economic ages. I mean, hell, let's agree to disagree. You get everything else on the list.
I love she would let's agree to disagree. That was beautiful. Van Sickle, where you at with it?
Thinking rent and gas. I don't even have a car right now, but like if I did, like goddamn, dude, like nothing is off the table as a monetary fucking in a monetary kind of way. I can go wherever I need to go. Gotcha. If it's unlimited, I can always fucking get there and not have to worry about that. Like I can make the fucking money. I just got to go where the money is. And rent, that's always a fallback because I mean, that's a big expense you're gonna have to fucking pay. If you just had that off the fucking table, it'd help you out.
But you ain't got no car.
Yep.
I just checked it out because I think that's okay. All right, but yes, I asked for your opinion, not my opinion on your opinion. So thank you. Dos Manos, what you got? What you want for free?
Dude, massages come with a happy ending.
He wasn't here when we was talking about that coach. That tells you everything you need to know right there.
Really?
Well, assuming that it don't, I already was thinking along the lines of B-Love, except for, you can lose all the stuff that, by selling weed, by going to jail. So I would sell gas, Lord, in the fucking, station. I would have my free gas and sell
Interjection.
gas at the gas station.
Weed is legal in some states.
That's how you know.
Yeah, but you don't live in one of them though.
I know I don't live in one of them, but it's on the ballot for up to 4 ounces. Number one.
It's not on the ballot. That's passed already. 4 ounces.
Well, see, there it is.
Yeah.
I stand correctably in.
But what KO said, that's how you know.
Yeah.
That's how you know you from Beaumont, because that is something that actually happened at one point. People was getting gas and selling it. That's awesome.
But
Of
yeah,
course,
that's
people
it.
stand at the gas pump.
See, and I would do the free gas, and then I'll take either one of the other ones. It don't matter because I just live with one of the people out here that pick free rent, and then we good.
He piggyback.
Nigga.
Hey, hey, loophole is engaged. Look, y'all got free rent. I'm gonna stay with y'all. I'm gonna pick two other shits. I like it. I like it.
You can't charge me for something that you don't need, right? So
Right. If you're rent free, I can't. I got you. I'm with you. RB, what about you?
Rent groceries.
And logically, so I'm going renting groceries myself. Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'll be flipping them groceries like food stamps.
You know what I'm saying? Who need a twig when you can do that? Straight up.
Oxtails, crab legs, shrimp. Look, get the
Make plates. I
unlimited.
mean, look, I'm going back to the Beaumont rules, but that's what people doing out there. Buying all the groceries, going to make plates, selling a plate $10 a pop. You done got all your groceries back once you sell 10 plates, but you got enough groceries to make 25, 30, 50 plates. So
No, when they get those extra stamps, they went and bought all the oxtails and the crab legs up in the stove for the
do
people
y'all
who
really
couldn't
think
get it
that
with
be
the cash.
oxtails? That be cow tails.
man,
That all the oxtails is a castrated bull.
people doing too much right now. All right, when you start talking facts, you start losing interest. All right. Let's move forward. We got to hear about it. Bonita made a post.
Bullshit.
Imagine you make it in heaven. There's something you might see that will make you question whether you're actually in heaven. This is
SlyFox.
open for everybody. If you saw SlyFox in heaven, you know what? Nobody asked you. But I'm good.
A liquor store.
I ain't gotta ask you later. Mute.
A liquor store.
Jason Mike, who?
A liquor store.
A liquor store? Hey, that's how I know I'm in heaven if I see a liquor store. Stop playing. Jason Michael, what you got?
What's up?
You make it to heaven. Name something that you see that make you question whether you actually in heaven. One thing.
Yeah, what?
Oh my goodness. You make it to heaven. Name something you may see that would make you question whether you are actually in heaven.
That's terrible.
Kim, if you want to help him out.
Juan Perez.
Wait, what? Who?
Juan Perez.
Who that?
He was my mom's fiance for like 7 years. Used her to pay for his college education. And then as soon as he got a job as Bon Jovi's paralegal, he left.
All right. No questions there. All right. What about you, Kim?
My grandma. Boom.
Wow. All right.
She's a racist.
No, any racist people, I'm sure they're going to go to heaven too. I mean, it's life.
No, for real though, she is. Like, she's proud of it too.
Yeah, proud is a little different. Okay. What about you, Kim Tyler? Make it to heaven. Name something that you would question that you're in heaven if you see it.
Tyler walked away for a second. I would say a politician.
Any politician, don't matter.
Yeah.
God damn. Okay. I mean, I'm sure Bill Clinton's gonna make it. That's my guy.
Not to go too dark, but
Bubba is
my
in
dad,
there. What?
Bruh.
What you said, Tyler?
My dad.
Fuck me sideways with these people and their families, dude. Oh, thank you.
I love him, but if half of what he said was true, he shouldn't be going to heaven. I love him, but
Okay. All right.
Oh.
A lot. That's a lot.
And
All
like,
right.
not to throw shade, but sorry,
Not to
Dad.
throw shade, but. All right, Jason G, what you got over there?
I put on the page pretty much well-known racists. So like the first name that came to me was like David Duke or anybody that's basically a part of the Klan. And you're like, what the fuck?
Okay, makes sense to me. All right, so we sticking with the racist stuff, man. Right? Racists have no place.
No white sheets in heaven. Like, let's not do that.
White sheets, like I'm thinking white sheets, oh angels, but nope, yep, yours is pointed at the top. Never mind.
Nice and white satin.
All right. Be love. You make it to heaven. You see something. Am I really in heaven? What is it?
Nope. Not touching that one.
All right. Respect. KD, you want to get in on that?
If I see Trump, I know I'm in the wrong place. Boom. That's it. I'm in hell.
Boom. Well, welcome to America. You're here. He's here.
Exactly. We're in the wrong place.
What the hell?
4 years removed, and we're back.
She said God don't like ugly.
Man, you know, it's fucked up to say that because as a personal person who never mind. Dos Manos, what's your thought?
Pause.
Huh?
Bag up. Cause yeah, I'm sure it's worse than him, but just I ain't got time to list off the whole bunch of people. I'm just rattling off one. You asked for one.
That's fine. I'm not even questioning.
So wait, here's my question today. Where would you be if Kamala there?
Okay, so let me ask you
I'm asking this because biblically, everything that she was pushing for and signed for, it goes against God's premise. And not only, but also in Timothy, it says that God's view of a woman, she should not lead a nation of men. That's in Timothy.
At the same time, it's the lesser of two evils. And why would you not want the woman? So you mean that you would vote against her because she's just a woman, but the lesser of the two evils is what it is. So why couldn't she do the same thing if you have the woman in the background telling you or trying to assist you in what you're doing in your capacity, but you're going to let the devil just come step in altogether and just say, hell, this is what I said. He said his first order of business is do a mass deportation. So just because she's a woman, you object to her. Just because she's a woman, you object to her. But at the same time, when you get a woman on your side and she is holding you up in the midst of your shit, you okay?
Just about her being a woman.
What? But
in the modern age,
what the Bible said.
Be anything. In the modern age, a woman can be anything.
Hold on. This is a one-on-one. I want to hear this. Go ahead. What y'all got?
Who cares about modern age? And like, modern age is a bunch of motherfuckers trying to do what they want to do. That's just like anybody who got kids and they kids do whatever they tell them to do, and then when they become fucking teenagers and shit, think they can talk crazy to you. You gotta fight your own kids and shit. Same shit. It's the same
exactly.
shit. It's right. So if it goes against what God's premise is, how can you say anything like that? So
that's my point.
I understand that, but
he said he was a woman. He said he was a woman.
At the same time, you should not have used the fact that she's a woman and between the woman and the man, I need to pick the man to lead over the woman. You got to look at who the man is and ask yourself, can he really lead? So you need to see up in their presence because you know what the evil of that is. You know what his ulterior motive is.
I gave you a list of things that came biblically straight from the text, not my mouth. From the text of what was said, and you took the one you disliked the most and picked that and ran with that.
I hear you, and at the same time,
the same thing that you only want to vote for because she's a woman.
No, you don't vote. I'm not voting for you because I didn't vote for her just because she's a woman. But you vote in the context of what is this woman's issue over what is this man? And again, if the man cannot lead What are you supposed to do?
How,
If you're going
how
to
are you
fall
doing it?
back, what are you going to do?
How
And
are
what
you
does
doing it
God
right
tell you?
now?
God helps
How
those
are
who
you
help
doing?
themselves. And if he thinks that you are not in a position to lead in the direct kind of way, then who else is up in that position but that woman? So if
Okay.
no other
Right.
man stepped up to get in a position over that woman, then who is your choice? But
Let's take
her.
a different
No.
approach. How do you like your life
So
right now? How do you like your
what?
life right now?
What?
How do you like your life right now?
What? Okay, my life
Hold on,
compared to
Carol.
what?
Hold on. Kim, he
Okay.
said, how do you like your life right now?
Okay, I'm great. Compared to what?
Exactly. Your life has been unfazed by him being in office before. At least you know what it's been like with him in there, as opposed to you don't know what it's like when she get up in there. So you know, you at least know that you're gonna be unfazed by whatever the fuck he does, as opposed to her.
But y'all going back, so everybody's going back on what she said before as a governor or whatever compared to her leading the free world. The whole thing is, I understand men figure that women aren't supposed to lead, and a woman leading the nation is going to be a whole sidetrack. But at the same time, a man in his capacity leading the free world a second time around, he's already sold you his hand. So you want again for him to step up and show you some other shit. So you voted for him to step up and show you how much more he can demolish over giving this woman the opportunity to get into place, and knowing that she's still going to take and listen to a man telling her what she needs to do to lead us.
Okay.
Right.
Right,
So
Kim.
you want
Hold on.
this man here stepping up a second time around when you didn't give a woman the first time around to lead you into something. But this man, why do you need the second time to have a first time to correct yourself? You should have did the shit right the first time, and you wouldn't have had an issue with being elected over no issues.
I really feel
Compared
it's
to a
personal
woman having the first time to fucking show herself to be who she is.
Okay, Kim, hold on.
Right. What?
Hold on. All right. I'm gonna let y'all two cool down for a little bit. I got some hands, and y'all two let's just let them say their piece, and then we can come back to it. And Van Sickle. So Jason Michael, what you got?
So the point I was trying to make was that in you're quoting scripture, and this is not an attack on either point. But Ruth led her people to prosperity, right? She stepped up and did. She stepped up and did what no one else could do at the time, right? And she led her people to prosperity. However, I'm talking about the here and now. The here and now, a man can be a woman. And it's already been shown that is widely accepted by the world populace. So the gender role is not in play because we already know that the American people are willing to accept the unnatural as that. So I think that if we take out the gender, right, and we just focus on the policy, right, you vote for whoever's policy is going to benefit you, right? That's the logical thing to do.
Hey,
vote.
All right. I agree. Policies is the reason why people vote, but there are other reasons why people vote too. Some people, tax brackets is the reason why you vote. Some people, race, sex, whatever. That's the reason why you vote. But I'm there. I'm keeping it there. Jason G, what you got?
You're muted.
You're still muted.
Put my hand down. I wanted to address what Kale was talking about as far as just it being in scripture. And I just feel like there's a lot of things that are in scripture that we don't necessarily apply to literally. You know what I mean? So it's like some things can be taken for the time. And at the time, obviously, men were more or less the only ones that could be leaders of men. Women were basically seen as a lesser role. But like, if you go back into, I'm gonna say, I think it's both Leviticus and Deuteronomy that basically talks about not eating shrimp, right? Or like different types of fish that can be unclean. Like, let me just read the quote. It says, "Only sea creatures with fins and scales are considered clean and therefore edible." To kind of paraphrase, but the bottom line is, I don't see nobody not eating shrimp and lobster. Red Lobster is still pretty fucking popular. And it's just like, it's one of those deals where it's just like, we will interpret what makes sense to us. And, we'll apply the rules based on, well, that was kind of outdated, but this one, this is the one we're going to keep. So like, to each their own as far as how you want to interpret the Bible and what you hear and what you don't hear. But I don't necessarily think that it's a good thing to simply take one context of, well, this is what the Bible says as far as leader of men, and women are not supposed to lead. That was for that time and for that context. Like, we live in a modern age where women can lead. And that's all I want to say.
Hey, and this is for both parties.
Just like the shrimp.
This is for
that
both
was the
parties.
time and the context, just like the shrimp.
Facts. Okay.
Here's the way.
This is for both parties involved with the argument. This is something that we try to instill here. The idea of letting people get their points across. This is something that I'm goofing around, doing eating my wings and wiping my mouth and all that stuff while y'all talking. But at the same time, listening to your points. Everybody has valid points in these situations. My thought process is not your thought process. Your thought process is not mine. Obviously, you two have differences of opinions. But the idea that we come in here and have these debates in a manner where one person gets to say what they got to say, pause, then the next person gets to say what they get to say, it is a beautiful thing. Because if you go on the internet, like we're talking about, the internet right now is a hotbed for disaster and chaos. And you come on here and almost do a full 2 hours without political talk. It's great. It's great. It was almost there. But we did have a contingency plan for this. And I have a RB, but RB is being very he's saying this in the chat. So if you haven't seen the chats, he's saying Kevin asked simply based on the scripture that a woman shouldn't lead men, should accept see Kamala in heaven. Wait, what? Run it back. What did that mean, RB? Kevin asked simply based on the scripture that a woman shouldn't lead men, should you expect to see Kamala Harris in heaven? That's not what I heard.
Kevin asked simply based on the scripture that a woman shouldn't lead men, should you expect to see Kamala in heaven? That's what he said.
Okay, so again,
he asked the question directly from the question we were on.
Well, right. That Van Sickle did not get to answer yet. Real quick, let me insert that. Van Sickle, what was your answer?
You ain't gonna like it.
It doesn't matter. It's not my opinion. So go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because you said, why are they family oriented?
Can I get this?
What would I see in heaven that made me know I'm not there? My Nana, because she's supposed to be there and I'm not, bro.
All right, go ahead, finish, RB. I love his Nana, by the way. She's great.
Hey, fuck you for that.
I just think that he wouldn't attack. Like I said, I don't think he was saying she's not qualified because she's a woman, but he was speaking in terms of, if we speaking about heaven, this is what it says in the scripture.
Okay. Now, for both of them, honestly, Letty answered that 5-10 minutes before any of that happened. Politicians, period. Done deal. So that would include both sides. That would include my sweet Bubba. My sweet.
I don't trust nobody.
It exclude number one either. I mean, that's everybody. Mr. Wood,
right.
Slave on all that stuff. But I think that the idea that the debates happen and based on the numbers, there's a lot of people that didn't vote either way. And to that I say, kudos. If you're not comfortable with somebody, don't fucking vote for them. Don't feel like you have to pick a side. If both of them, when you see your shit, don't pick. But I applaud the people also who pick the side based on something. It gives you something to stand on and going forward. Like, well, at least I did. My candidate won. I voted for that motherfucker. Boom, got it. Or well, my candidate lost, but I voted for that motherfucker. So we're gonna keep pushing. The person who didn't vote don't get to say shit. But again, if you don't vote, I'm sure that's probably your thing. Like, I'm not gonna say shit, so I don't care. I don't know. I just think that if I saw Walt Disney in heaven, that would freak me the fuck out. That's the only thing I got to close that part out. Seeing Walt Disney in heaven would be freaking crazy because I would think he's already trying to produce some shit, and it'll be come out on Disney Plus called Heaven, and it'll be a whole show and shit. So yeah, that'd be crazy. Dos Manos, what y'all got? And again, Kim Diamond and
I'm gonna be real short about this, and this is directly to RB. I want to thank you for implementing that. Since I was disabled, I literally asked a question to what was being said, and the part that bothered me is every motherfucker on here piggybacked off of that shit as if I said that was my premise, and it wasn't. I was asking based off of what was said. I didn't even say shit about that. That was my choice. Who knows? I probably voted for it. Who knows? I was asking strictly off what was said. I said, well, where would you be if you seen Kamala? Where would you be? Just like he said. And that, she thought I was saying something. She felt attacked, I guess, because it was a woman. And because I quoted a scripture, didn't say I agreed with the scripture. And then everybody after that, yeah, I think what he's saying, it's too much thinking on this bitch. Nobody asked nobody a question. It's too much thinking.
Okay, first, everybody didn't jump on that train. YouTube.
Everybody was saying.
Okay, YouTube for the most part was going back and forth, and then you had Bishop say something, and that was obviously Bishop stirring the pot, being facetious, and then you had Jason Michael coming on, and that was it. There wasn't nobody else adding on to that. But Kim, to get your rebuttal in, we got 2 minutes. What you got?
I mean, hey, all I can say is that's your opinion. I said what I said. You said what you felt, and either way, it's not like it's wrong. That's your thoughts, and these are my thoughts.
Right.
So it's not about, more or less. I just said, hey, Trump is there, and you said a woman leading, and it's not about a woman leading. It's just about an overall. It's just my overall response about the situation itself. You know, whether a woman leads or a man leads and everything all in between, it's not that a woman is not supposed to lead. That's not like it's supposed to be written in stone. That was then, this is now. Things happen, things evolve. Some women lead from behind, some people lead in front. It's all about what's allowed, but who knows what that woman would have done. She wasn't given the opportunity. So now we have somebody back in power that's getting a second chance, and you can't get a second chance to make a first impression because he already made that.
I mean,
so we already know what he's made of. And again, he's already come out and say what he's going to do. And it's like, I mean, we can't do anything about it at the end of the day, but he was given a chance a second time versus her given the opportunity the first time to show what she's made of, not based on her previous actions. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
You know, people were based on what she previously did, this, that, and that. But that was then, this is now. Who knows how she could have brought us into Because if that was the fact, why would they have elected Obama when they thought a black man, he could never do this, that, XYZ? But hey,
Dude, did you see Obama walk? Like, come on, man. That's like, why would you say
yeah, he
Denzel
probably
Washington's your
happy he
favorite
ain't got to
actor?
deal
Dude
with
got a
that.
mean ass walk.
He happy he ain't got to deal with that. But it's just about somebody getting her first impression to do something versus somebody who's getting a second chance to make a first impression, and that's not going to happen because we already know what he did the first time around,
Well,
and now you just bring it back to
let me say
yeah.
this about Kamala Harris. In the long-standing history of presidential um, elections and nominees and whatnot, there's this gentleman named Ross Perot. Okay, she got another chance. She can run again if she got. But now, this to me, this is groundwork. Lay your groundwork. See what happened. What went wrong. Fix it. 4 years later, come back. Obviously, Trump can't run again. So see how your
I mean, it
policy.
was probably a lot of things that added to that. She's jumping in the midst of Biden saying he got to step down.
I mean,
So
she
it's a
had two
lot
months to
of
prepare. So yeah, gotcha.
yeah, it's a lot of things that could have
But
added to that.
but at the end of the day, none of that shit matters now. It's over,
Exactly. It don't.
past, and
It don't.
we just
We can't
take
change
our
it for 4
individual
years.
lives forward and continue. You know. But like I
So
said, Ross Perot ran what three times in a row. Ain't win shit. Never got 10% of the votes, but he was there. Diligence. Come back with a better policy or actually have a policy that's gonna have some people going, bam, motherfucker. Oh, I'm voting for that because like the it's hard to admit this, but going online looking at trying to find facts to see why this went this way or that way, you get so much bullshit about the policies that was going to be put in place for each side, and it's like what I do admire. I'm saying this out loud, recorded about Donald Trump's situation is that he says what he's going to do. If you don't vote for him, you don't vote for him. If you do vote for him, you do vote for him, and he's going to do that shit. Or he's going to try it.
yeah, some shit is right, but at the end of the day, some shit's way over the top.
And
But
those who honor democracy, the vote is in, it's set. Move forward. We're gonna do this. Get like, I can go on. We talked about this today, but we
it is what it
we gotta
is.
start today for 4 years. You know what I mean? Don't sit around like me personally. Honesty over transparency. I don't need to know your backstory on politics. I just want to know. If I ask you, do you think that so and so had this kind of policy, or do you think that this one has a better policy? That's all I'm asking. I don't need you to tell me the backstory of Joe Biden, the '74 conversation with so and so, and he said this. It is what it is. But what about now? And I think that
The
if
people who
Kamala,
bitching and complaining didn't vote, so that's all you have to say. Did you vote?
well, there you
Because
go.
I
There you go.
know a lot of
That'll stop a
people
lot of
who
arguments.
didn't.
That'll stop a lot of arguments when somebody come up with a point. Oh, I think this and this and this, but did you vote? Huh? Well, shut the fuck up then.
Exactly. To attempt to change, to attempt to put your insight into changing something. So that's all really what it comes down to, that you make an attempt to even say you wanted to see something change. The end of the day, all the votes came and it is what it is. But if you didn't make an attempt to change what you thought you were standing on your principle, then sit your ass down.
Sit
I'm
down.
just saying,
Be humble. Sit down. But all right, it is 5 minutes after our get off time, and I just want to thank everybody that came out. Your voices are heard here. We posted online, so it's heard there too. But yeah, like we try to keep it neutral where everybody can get their stuff out, and we appreciate y'all coming out. The more posts on the page, if you haven't noticed, I am deleting a lot of shit off the page because I want to make it easy to pinpoint what we're talking about, so that people can scroll through. So as we talk about stuff, I'm taking it off the page. 2 months out, I'm taking it off the page. and we're trying to keep it right here. All right, so keep checking that out. Check out the YouTube page. Everything that we talk about on here goes there. Man, making my link. What is this? Feedback. Considering my link. Considering making the link. Why is this thing right here? Can't see what this say. For the show, easier to find. Easier to find. All right. I thought that I had saved it to the top of the group, and
yeah, but there's a lot of things in featured now. Sometimes, like I had to scroll through like 15 posts to get to the link.
Gotcha. I will delete that stuff too.
And I'm lazy. I'm lazy too. Like I just go to that same day because that's what that said. It said this is where you can always find the link to the shows. So that's where.
All right, got you. I'm gonna hold my promise there. All right, thank y'all again for coming out. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to Los Angeles. Shout out to Dallas. Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Austin. As LeVar Burton says, we'll see you next time.